Right now at 6 o'clock, Joe Ganim said he has won the redo of the Bridgeport mayoral primary. And while the race isn't officially over, he is at least leading the vote count as of this morning.
A road rage incident turns deadly. The accused shooter behind bars this morning. We'll explain what an arrest warrant says happened when the suspect and victim got into it right in the middle of the road.
And as expected, Donald Trump is projected to win the New Hampshire Republican presidential primary, but it's the margin of victory that could at least define the path forward for his opponent, Nikki Haley.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock on a Wednesday. Good morning, sunshine. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. Some of you waking up to a nice coating of snow, some wet snow, but at least not frozen on, Matt Scott, something that you can brush off fairly easily.
No, most of it around the state is fairly, if not completely negligible, but higher elevations, an inch, maybe an inch and a half at the worst. So not a big deal at all. That said, the bottom of your screen has a number of delays this morning, primarily for northern parts of the state. A few slippery spots out there. You may want to be mindful of that, especially on the back roads. Scattered rain, maybe another snowflake or two through the morning, and then things get warmer, but also get wetter. We'll talk about that coming up. Here's the live radar. And again, it's almost like the moisture is surrounding us. You got a mixed bag up in the Berkshires, a little rain coming in from the west. We'll put it in motion, and you'll see there's just a little bit of spotty activity over the Hudson River Valley into Westchester County. But there's more rain coming. Also a surge in warm temperatures, and so we're not concerned at all about this being anything other than just wet. Temperatures are hovering around freezing up north, 30 in Torrington, 32 in Willimantic. At the shoreline, a few degrees better. Here's the guidance. It's mostly light through lunch, and then after dinner tonight, we'll start to see the rain pick up tonight, and that will be your overnight event. And that'll linger, actually, not just through tomorrow, but actually into early Friday, too. Cloudy now, cloudy later, which is fine. We'll take that. 32 presently for the high schoolers, 39 as the kids get off the bus later on today. Talk about the weekend, too, coming up. 6:02, let's go to the roads, and I'm hoping, as we said yesterday, the problem's minimal this morning.
And that's what we're seeing out on the roads, Matt. So it is reflecting that this morning. We have no crashes to alert you to as of 6:02. In addition to our flights and rail services, no major delays at the moment. There looks like maybe one delay over at Bradley this morning, but that's a 7 o'clock flight, so folks are already alerted to that. Roadwork in East Haddam has cleared that I brought you to in the 5 o'clock hour. Over in New Haven, I-95 I-91 rather, heading towards that I-95 interchange. Volume is starting to pick up on that southbound side, although traffic is running smoothly. Over in southeastern Connecticut towards Waterford, just near 395, that on-ramp, that looks good. Volume in both directions light. East Hartford Route 2, no delays to report in and out of the capital city this morning. Just be mindful of any isolated slick spots on those secondary roads. The primary roads, like our interstate, should be okay. Guys, back to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Rachel. 6:03 now. Incumbent Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim is declaring victory in the city's Democratic primary election redo. A judge ordered the new primary after allegations of absentee ballot fraud surfaced last fall.
Now, keep in mind, the race has not yet been called. We're still waiting on final results from the Secretary of the State's office. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us live in Bridgeport with what we know about the vote count at this point.
Tim, Symphony, good morning. And one of the big takeaways after last night is that this drawn-out process to elect a new mayor here in Bridgeport could be coming to an end pretty soon. 5 months after this race was really tossed into turmoil, and that was, of course, following the release of that video showing alleged misconduct at one of these official ballot drop boxes. But the voting in this process, that is not done just yet, because that judge's ruling does order a new general election, and that is scheduled for next month. So now let's break down those results from that primary redo. Take a look at your screen right here. Again, these are unofficial from the Secretary of the State's office, but they have Ganim Ganim leading John Gomes by more than 1,100 votes. And this is with all those precincts reporting. And now let's recap how we got here. It was this video that caused a judge to toss out the original Democratic mayoral primary results from September and then order that new one that we got yesterday. This video, released by the Gomes campaign, shows Ganim supporters allegedly stuffing these ballot boxes. Now, Ganim did acknowledge those supporters broke the law, but denied knowing about the scheme. And fast forward to last night, John Gomes did not concede in his speech to supporters and said that he and his team are now evaluating those next steps. Here's some of what both men had to say last night.
I want to say this is not a concession speech because we will never give up. Okay? Because we have set new trends, new mark, new targets, new perspective for the city of Bridgeport, and we will continue to fight for democracy and make sure that we have an open and transparent democracy.
In a cold day in January, we humbly asked our voters to come out and send a message beyond Bridgeport. Beyond Bridgeport, about the leadership in Bridgeport and about their support for our commitment to work together for everyone in the city of Bridgeport, and they responded to our call because of you. Thank you, Bridgeport.
Now, if Ganim is declared the winner here, he will face Republican David Hurst and independent Lamont Daniels in that new court-ordered general election that is scheduled for February 27th. And there's also a chance Gomes could appear on that ballot as well as a third-party candidate if he does not drop out. And the Secretary of the State's office telling us that new general election will happen unless all but one of those candidates drop out of the race or a judge decides differently. We are live in Bridgeport this morning. I'm Angelo Bafaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Angelo, thank you. And you can count on Fox 61 for continuing coverage from Bridgeport throughout the day, on air, online, and through our news app. In other news here at 6:07, a Connecticut corrections officer is in police custody. Officers are claiming that a corrections officer shot and killed a man on a highway in Meriden.
Now, police say the suspect and victim were involved in a road rage incident. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin joining us live at the Meriden courthouse, where the suspect will appear this morning. Now, Brooke, you've read through the arrest warrant, and there's a lot of details to unpack. What have you learned?
Well, that arrest warrant is 10 pages long, and it contains at least 5 different witness statements and even a first-hand account from the suspect himself as to what exactly happened that evening. Now, we do now know that that suspect is 33-year-old William Lucky Jr. He is a corrections officer here in the state of Connecticut, and he's being charged with murder after that road rage incident. Connecticut State Police tell us back on January 12th, Lucky and the victim, Scott Crack, were both traveling east on 691 when one of the drivers cut the other off. That arrest warrant had a lot of information, but it's still not clear who exactly cut the other person off, as witnesses in both of the involved cars claimed that the other driver was at fault. Police say the drivers then pulled off to the side of the highway by the Broad Street exit, got out, and confronted each other. Lucky told troopers he thought Crack may have a gun on him, so he shot him. The warrant states Lucky stood over Crack and shot him multiple times in the head, torso, and other spots on his body. Lucky told officers he left the scene because his 3-year-old son and the boy's mother were in that car. He said he took the boy and the mother home, then turned himself into police. He was processed and released until an arrest warrant was issued. That report shows that he then surrendered yesterday, pretty quickly after that warrant was actually officially issued. And again, he is being charged with murder. Right now, he is sitting in jail here in the area, and he is expected to face a judge for the very first time in this case later this morning. Live in Meriden, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Alrighty, thank you, Brooke. We'll check back in with you later on this morning. 6:09 now, a Bridgeport grandmother is expected in court today on manslaughter charges in the death of her 4-week-old granddaughter. Eleanor Herman was the child's caregiver. Police say she was watching the baby in 2021 when the baby died of a fentanyl overdose. They say Herman has a history of drug use. Herman is being held on a $250,000 bond.
Well, in the Michelle Troconis trial, you may know by now that prosecutors had already shown surveillance video of a man that they say is Fotis Doulos dumping trash bags the day his wife Jennifer disappeared. Well, yesterday they showed jurors what was in those bags. And just a bit of a warning, some of you might find this a little hard to watch because prosecutors said it's evidence of murder. All right, first let's show you some of that surveillance video. Investigators said Troconis was in the passenger seat of Doulos' truck that day as he dumped items in several places in Hartford. Well, yesterday in court in Stamford, a detective showed the jury items that he pulled from bags at 3 different locations. Some of the things he said he found: zip ties, a razor blade, gloves, a towel, a shirt, and a bra. The detective said these items appeared to have blood on them.
A white bath towel with a lot of blood-like substance on the towel. It was a white t-shirt with what appeared to be a blood-like substance on the t-shirt, and we found that suspicious.
That detective said both the shirt and bra that he found had been cut down the middle. Now, Troconis is charged with conspiracy to commit murder in the disappearance of Jennifer Doulos. Troconis' lawyer, though, said none of the items shown yesterday have anything to do with his client.
A family of 3 in Putnam is without a home this morning after a fire destroyed it. The fire broke out at around 3:30 yesterday afternoon on Bradley Street. When firefighters arrived, they say the house was engulfed by the flames. Now, we're told one child was inside at the time. They got out okay. The fire marshal is working to figure out how the fire started.